Hello, everyone. This is Stephen Swan. I am the lead instructor for EDTP 580. You will only see me, though, twice. Our instructor for this summer will be Amanda Jones, and you will meet her on Friday. You get to put up with me on Wednesday. We've gotten a lot of feedback from folks who are kind of struggling with how they can participate or view the classes for this Wednesday and Friday because a lot of you can't be there. Again, we understand. We definitely apologize. The university thought it had its schedule in sync with JCPS, and then JCPS frankly changed it because of the snow days, and we are where we are. So what I want to do is I want to show you very quickly how to get to our course, either in a synchronous mode, meaning you would be there exactly the same time as the course is going on, or in an asynchronous mode where you can basically sit back, relax, put your feet up, sip a cold beverage, and watch what went on in that class that day. Now, when we do this, all we basically do is record the presenter's, the instructor's screen. So no worries about a camera lurking in the room, catching you sitting there picking your nose or anything silly like that. We just capture what's on our screen, and you get to see that. Now, sometimes the microphone that we use, we'll be using a lavalier mic, can pick up the sound from the rest of the students in the room. We don't really care about that one way or the other because, as you'll see here in just a second, the way we've structured the course, it's very, very easy to follow along with what we're doing. We'll be learning lots of cool stuff. In fact, what I'm doing right now is something you're going to learn how to do, which is called screencasting. And we're going to have a time where we basically show you how this works. You read, you talk, and then we go into work time, where you basically put everything together into a project. We are definitely all about project-based learning in this class. So let me show you what I'm talking about as far as either joining or watching the classes. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here to my Blackboard. Please don't be stunned by what you see here because I have a lot of classes. There's all the classes that I own. And let's find our class, EDTP 580-20, 4145, summer 2014. Here we are. So the first thing that pops up when we start a class is what is called the announcements. And one of the announcements that I want you to pay attention to, well, actually you'll see this over in the module, is called 30 Trends in Education. This is really kind of cool. You can see what's going up, what's going down, and what's kind of in that awkward place. If you serve on any kind of PLC or SBDM in your school, this is a document worth sharing because it really kind of shows where the best bang for the buck for a school of dollars for technology really need to be. Anyway, so that's that. We'll talk about this more. Let me show you how this all works. As you'll see over here, there's something called course documents. Oh, by the way, the syllabus that's up here is the most current one. I will have a paper copy for you Wednesday. And we'll, of course, keep those paper copies around for anybody who can't be there Wednesday or Friday. So as you can see, when I click on course documents, these are the modules you keep hearing me talk about. This is where your work is. So if you want to see what you're going to be doing in class, here they are, right here. It even goes on to tell you what we're going to be doing. And inside of each one of these modules are the tools that you will need. So like here, our first class meeting, we're going to be setting up a wiki space, we're making an avatar, we're going to learn how to move around and make things that we can see on the web appear in our wiki. Um, and then there's this really cool thing down here called How the Internet Grows, and you can actually see the internet moving in real time. And then here is that same document I told you about earlier. Okay, so on Wednesday, what I will be doing is I will be using this right here. It's called Collaborate. And the way it works is extremely simple. I will click on Collaborate, and then the session, which will always be this title, by the way, appears. When I click on that again, it's basically showing me the information that I need to know about this session. Excuse me. I had to cough there. So to get into it, I walk over here and launch the room. You already have been put into this room. In other words, the names, your names, have already been entered in. So getting in here is not a problem. The problems are what you just saw happen. You will get a pop-up whether you're on a Macintosh like I am now, or if you're on a Windows 7 machine, or even a Windows 8 machine, you'll get a pop-up like this. And what it's basically saying is the Java that operates Collaborate is basically being verified by your computer to be allowed to do this. Now, a lot of you have written me about issues, and this is Java launching right here where it says Blackboard Collaborate. A lot of you have been writing me issues about Java on your machines. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you and tell you that on a Macintosh, this is about as easy as it gets. On a Windows machine, there's a few problems. And those problems have to do with the relationship between Windows and Java. And it's a very interesting story that I'm not going to bore you with. But the problem is Java is an external application in the Windows 7 program. And so if you get a message that pops up that says, hey, I don't see Java anywhere around here, you are going to have to download the Java plugins for your Internet Explorer. Actually, even on Firefox, you'll have the same issues. Now, this is not a big deal, but it can drive you crazy. What I had to do on my Windows 7 machine at U of L in Internet Explorer is I told it that it needed to download the Java, and then you have to jump through another hoop where you basically tell it to trust it. What it essentially will do, now this is on your personal computer, is it'll download a little file to your desktop. That file is called JNLP. If you cannot see what I'm seeing right now, you need to go find that JNLP file on your desktop. When you double click it, it should reach out to your Java installed on your machine and start that application and then launch what I'm sitting here looking at right now. If it still doesn't work, you're going to have to right click on the JNLP and you're going to have to go down to the drop down box that says open with, go over and see if it shows Java. If it still doesn't show Java there, I sent out an email that had directions on where you find Java on your machine. This is Windows people now. You're going to have to dive into your program files and dig down, and I don't have that in front of me to tell you, but it's in the email I sent you where you can go find the Java application. Launch the Java application all by itself. Don't worry about Blackboard Collaborate right now. Just launch Java. And that seems on a Windows machine to basically say, hey, I'm Java, I'm an app, I'm here to handle anything. It's a JNLP file. Once you do that, go back then and try and launch Collaborate on your machine. Probably you will find that everything works. If you're still having trouble with it, and if you want to bring your laptop into U of L, we have people there that can help you with it. Now, let me show you what we're looking at here. This is what's called the Collaborate screen. And the reason why I wanted you to see this is I want you to see how we will be using this. As you can see, I am here in synchronous mode. I'm in real time. When you come in synchronous mode, we really don't want you to talk, and we definitely don't want you to send video. Reason is, you'll crash the system, either yours or mine. Probably yours. What we will encourage you to do is to use the chat down here. And basically anything you type in here, we can see. Now, this is how Amanda and I will be recording our class. If I go up here and I click on Sharing Applications, I'm going to tell it that I want to share the desktop. And what it does then is it essentially will now show you what my screen looks like. I'm going to drop this, well, not drop it out of the way, I move it over here so I can see if anybody wants to talk to me. And there I am. And so at this point, I can go in here and I can drop into the course documents. I can go over what I want you to be looking at, like right here, which is what we'll be doing on Wednesday. And we'll be learning about how to build a wiki, how to put a cool avatar in there, and then how to capture a video from off the web and put it into our wiki space. And you'll be able to watch all that because, as you can see, it records everything I do. Even to where I have to go out and actually go into a whole different space, like I'm going to now go to the first application that you'll learn how to use, and that's wikispaces.com. And once I get here, we're going to walk through how, as a newbie, you get to build your first wiki. And I'm not going to waste time with that because that'll be Wednesday's lecture. So I'm going to pop back over into here, and I'm going to make sure every once in a while, just by moving that over, if my Collaborate panel has anything in there that where someone needs to see me. And once I'm finished, it will actually create, as you can see right now, you can see the little line moving up here. That indicates that it's actually recording everything I'm saying to you. Once I finish, I'll tell it to stop recording, and then I will close it. And once I close it, what I will do, and Amanda will do, is we will make a link of our recordings over here to the class Collaborate recordings. Say that real fast 3 times. Now, right now, there's nothing in here because we haven't recorded anything. For those of you who won't be there on Wednesday, please understand that class will start at 12:40. We'll be recording right up to about, I don't know, 3:30. Might end a little bit early. It doesn't pop in automatically. It takes it anywhere from, half an hour to an hour for the full thing to show up. But they will show up, and they'll be right here. And the way they look is they're time-stamped and date-stamped. So you'll know, what day it was that we recorded. We'll also make sure that we put in there the name. So in other words, like for Wednesday, it'll be called Module 1, creating your digital presence. Friday will be your digital Module 2, your digital tattoo. So they'll all have titles on them like that. Now, the reason why we're doing this isn't just for the fact that some of you can't be there for Wednesday or Friday. Being summer, people have stuff planned or stuff happens. There's all this kind of angst that goes on about I can't be there for class. Will I be penalized? Will I fail? No. What you can do now is you can jump right into the class Collaborate recordings. You can watch how we do things for the class, and you can complete your assignments because, as you probably have already guessed, if you've dived in here and looked at things, one of the things that we do is we tell you what we're going to do for each one of the modules. You're going to create a wiki from wikispaces.com, and this is your personal wiki. You'll embed a Voki, which is the avatar that you'll create. That's really fun and cool. In several paragraphs, you'll share your views and experiences about technology and computers, both in the classroom and your experience as a user. Be sure to include a discussion or views on computers in the classroom. What role do you think computers should play? And then look at the trends in education and watch the internet grow and look at those and just think about what they're indicating. What an amazing world we now live in that is so, so different from just a few short years ago. Then we're going to look at how the world will be in 2020, or Sir Ken's How to Escape Education's Death Valley. The other thing that we're going to ask you to do is to respond to 4 TED Talks, and we'll show you where all those are. And then you're going to copy the earlier pages from your wiki and paste them into your live text. Now that looks like it's an awful lot, doesn't it? It's not. One of the things that you'll find is that your skill level will quickly grow with learning how to use things. We also have set aside Monday as a work day so that you can do Wednesday and Friday, come to U of L. Unfortunately, I will be busy with a group of kids at an STLP camp that we'll be running. Amanda will be there. You will be able to sit out in the larger room in the ERTC. Our classroom will be busy with kids learning how to program. Feel free to drop in and sit down and watch. But the computers will be there, and we can get you up to speed and get things caught up. When you look in the live text, one of the things I hope you will notice is there are no due dates. Again, what I try to do with that is give you the room to get things done. Now, some of you will blow through this as quickly as possible. Great. Others of you who are a little bit slower with your technological skills, that's fine. We'll make sure that everything that we do, you understand, and you will have success. So, I will see you Wednesday. Amanda will see you Friday. We both will see you Monday if you choose to come down to the university. Do I have to come down to the university on Monday? No. You're an adult. Make decisions that work for you. But also make sure that things that you can use. That your home computer, or if you're using a school computer, make sure these tools that I've just talked to you about, you'll be able to use. Okay? So I'll see everybody on Wednesday at 12:40.